Hey basketball players, if you are in a three-point competition coming up soon, this is definitely the video you're going to want to watch. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how you can become more consistent and a quicker three-point shooter for that three-point competition, because as you know, in most three-point competitions, there are 5 spots with 5 basketballs. You only have 60 seconds to get through those 25 basketballs, which means that you need to be taking a shot roughly every 2 seconds. So you need to be really quick. And of course, that's what we're going to talk about today. So the biggest thing that I can tell you when you're shooting a three-point competition is that you really want to know your shooting form. You want to know what it feels like to make a shot. And what I mean by that is I want you to be able to take so many shots before your competition that when your shot goes up and your elbow's just a bit out and that's why you missed, I want you to be able to feel that elbow out and think to yourself, what do you need to do to fix that shot for the next shot that's coming up? And literally, this is a split-second decision. This is not something that you can take 5 or 10 seconds to think about. So what I want you to do is to go close to the rim and take, before your next competition, at a minimum 100 shots, swishes from 1 inch away from the rim. And I want you to really feel what that shooting form feels like. Next, when you move back to the three-point line, same thing. I want you to take your shots like normal. However, when you get to that competition, and before that competition, you need to practice competition three-point shooting, which is a bit different from regular three-point shooting. So regular three-point shooting, you get that ball and then you take your shot. But your jump on that shot is very important. Of course, in game, that's going to give you the ability to elevate over your defender. That's going to give you the ability to jump or to shoot from farther away. But when you're in a three-point shooting competition, you want to take as short of hops as possible for you to make that shot. You should only be really jumping 1 or 2 inches off the ground. And the reason for this is because when you're shooting a three-point shooting competition, you again only have 2 seconds to shoot each basketball, roughly. It's like 2.1, 2.2 seconds. You don't have a lot of time. Jumping more than 1 inch or 2 is going to be taking away seconds off of your time by the time you get to the end. And now, when you get to the end, you may still have 4 or 5 basketballs left because you jumped too high, and that's going to allow you to possibly lose that competition. So you need to take short hops. And then, the most important tip. Do you like to have the ball come from the right side and over, or do you like to grab it from the left side? Me personally, I like to have my left foot planted, and for a lot of right-handed shooters, this is going to be the case. You're going to want to take that ball from the right side, move, and shoot. If you're left-handed, you might want to take it from the left side, pivot, and shoot. It's up to you. But there are some right-handed players that like to have that right foot planted and then grab from the left and pivot. That is a shorter pivot. That's going to save you time. But if you don't feel comfortable shooting from the left side, then why do it? That half a millisecond to grab from the other side can make a difference by the time you get to the end. But if you're going to be missing 4 or 5 more shots because you're grabbing from the left side, you need to grab from the right. And then finally, you should know where that ball is. You really need to practice with a rack if you have one. If not, then have a friend or a couple of friends who have basketballs, because this next tip is very important as well. So when you're shooting in a three-point shooting competition, you don't want to take your eyes off that rim. You don't want to move your eyes over to the rack to grab that ball and then to try and find that rim again. You want to be focused on the target. This is the same for when you're shooting, when you're catching the ball to shoot. If you know you're going to be coming off of a screen and shooting, you're going to be already looking at that rim to pull up for that shot. And this is the same for a three-point shooting competition. For me, I keep that left foot planted. I keep my eye on the rim, grab the ball, shoot. Eye on the rim, grab the ball, shoot. You should always know where that rack is, and then you can just move your hand back to grab that ball. And again, with all of these tips, from having a short hop, keeping your eye on the rim, knowing your shooting form and what it feels like to make it in, and what you're doing wrong when you're missing are all very important tips for you to be able to shoot a basketball better, for one, but also number two, for you to be able to make more threes in a three-point shooting competition. Now, when it gets to the game, you don't want to take short hops in a game, but again, in a three-point shooting competition, that's what's going to happen. Now, I was only in one three-point shooting competition ever in high school, and I won it. So take that as it is. I hope that this video has helped you become a better three-point shooting competition player. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.